targets have been cut over the last couple weeks or so. The lowest is, at least I have in front of me, somebody may be lower, but the most recent one's cut to 174 at HSBC. You do have a couple of reiterations of neutral calls. You do have a reiteration of a reduce at HSBC, and that was on May 20th. So Street's cooled. A good part of the Street has cooled a little bit on where the stock's going to go, Sarat, in the near term.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Weiss in terms of, I think the price has been discounted here. What the one part, and we saw with the Huawei issue, we've seen with the Qualcomm, is that if China actually uses Apple towards one of the things they want to do in this trade war, then I think the stock goes down a lot more, because then you're basically saying to one of the best companies in the world, we don't want you here. And that after effect will take a long time for that stock to recover. So I think you've seen the early sellers out. The people in there are the long-term patient investors.
Yeah, but I don't think the view here on the desk is that the stock could go down more.
It could. But what you're doing as an investor to say is your chances are more that in a year it's going to be higher than to kind of sell now, and then you got to chase it if something good news comes out.
Look, the other perspective to bring into the conversation is, I mentioned the price targets getting cut, and yeah, I know there's a lot of headwind that appears to be out there. Bank of America today takes the other side, right? Mm-hmm. They say that there's not going to be retaliation against Apple. Kramer brought up the point a couple weeks ago, too. It's like you're going to, cut off your nose to spite your face. If you're the Chinese, what are you going to retaliate? And what about all the manufacturing jobs that are over in China related to the iPhone and the components and everything else? Are you going to kill those, too? So you're going to kill the industry that's around the iPhone despite the iPhone itself?
Not kill it, but I think the weakening of it, certainly, you could see some weakening of that. And that's why I think when we're looking at the stock right now at 177, I was asked by one of the producers earlier today, would you buy it right here? My answer is no. I already own it. Where do I want to buy it again? If this thing starts to get down towards the levels where it hit before, Scott, near that 150 to 160 level,
and I think it
could
test 150?
If this is a prolonged war, skirmish, whatever you want to call this, yes. Because the further this goes out and the longer this is extended, I think that definitely will hurt.
Is there a possibility that Apple can be weaponized in this trade dispute?
I think
well, that's the whole thrust of this discussion.
It's being weaponized by us.
You're just using a different word and a good one.
The answer is yes. That is why you want to buy the stock. I want to buy the stock. I want to get back into it. But you're waiting. You're pausing because that's the proper risk management strategy.
It's one of the best buy rights that I own right now. I'm selling calls every single month against an Apple position for multiple years, and it continues to be one of the very best I've ever seen, Scott, including throw in Netflix, throw in some of these other somewhat volatile names that are moving all around for a lot of different reasons. Mm-hmm. When you can get the kind of premiums, Scott, that you can get right now against some of these great companies, you can do that, and suddenly your price to entry point continues to lower.
Pete, let me ask you a question. Yeah. If they come out in the quarter and I don't know what the benchmark's going to be because they never said it, right, but for their new News Plus services, and they don't give you any more clarity on over the top on video, does that have any impact on the stock? Because that's your services argument.
If they don't give you more info, is that what you're saying? More transparency?
No, I'm saying if it's disappointed. I don't know what the benchmark is